Very good morning to all the viewers and listeners of Hello Kolkata, Kolkata Calling podcast series. Like every Sunday, we are back with a very special guest, but this time it feels very different. Before I start our podcast and introduce our guest, there is a very, very important announcement that I want to make, and it's extremely something that fills us with pride. Uh, I wanted to talk about the partnership with BCC&I, Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for the 17th edition of their Business IT Conclave, short form BITC 26. We are absolutely delighted to share that we are the community partner for the 17th edition of the Business IT Conclave, organized by BCC&I. And over the next few weeks, we'll be bringing you a special series of conversations with industry leaders, innovators, and ecosystem builders around the different themes shaping the future of business and technology, from AI and digital transformation to connected enterprises and the evolving role of Kolkata and Eastern India in the global tech landscape. So, this is an announcement to mark your date for 19 June 2026 in Kolkata, BCCNI's 17th Business IT Conclave, BITC 26. And the theme for this year, BITC 26, is Beyond Boundaries, Empowering Enterprises Through Emerging and Connected Technologies. And related to that, we are very, very excited to begin this journey with a very special guest. Today, with me, I have Mr. Amit Srivastava. He's a seasoned GCC and transformation leader with over 2 decades of experience across global enterprises spanning India, UK, and Europe. Today, as the director of GCC and GBS at BT, British Telecom, he has played a pivotal role in establishing and scaling one of Eastern India's most significant global capability center success stories, building a 4,000-member team workforce across multiple shared service and transformation functions. Beyond operations, Amit works at the intersection of technology, business transformation, industry bodies, and enterprise leaders to shape the future of digital capability in this particular region. His work spans AI-led operating models, intelligent automation, customer experience transformation, and future-ready enterprise strategy. We are extremely privileged and honored to have Amit with us today. He's known for his people-first leadership philosophy, your opinion matters, and we'll get into that. And he's extremely passionate about building inclusive, high-impact teams and enabling Eastern India's emergence as a serious global technology powerhouse. And that's very close to our heart. So with that introduction, let me invite Amit onto the main stage. Amit, thank you so much for joining us. It's a real pleasure to have you as our guest today.
Thank you, Subit, for inviting me, and thank you to all the viewers.
Yeah. Amit, you are a leader, have been a leader for many, many years now with BT. Uh, Kolkata historically hasn't always, been the first city that's mentioned when we talk about global tech hubs in India. Uh,
Yeah.
do you agree with that perception? Do you think it's changing? What's your view?
I mean, agree with the perception because Kolkata
Hmm.
comes with a lot of perception, a lot of myth. I always tell people that if you have to really understand the capability of Bengal and especially Kolkata, you need to be on the land, see it, feel it, face it, and then you will realize that this is the land you really want to kind of actually work because this is a full of opportunity and the capabilities at this part of the world. I believe the perception actually started to change a little bit, especially after COVID. I know COVID, if I use as a word, it is it attached to more negativity, but especially for this part of the world, COVID was a boon in a way. Because the organizations worldwide, and especially the organizations who are operating in different geography, probably Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Delhi, NCR, Mumbai, they realize when they have to bring people back to offices and the folks and the talent pool which is actually an employees for their organization belong to this part of the world,
Hmm.
and just by the sheer mapping and then the microeconomics environment which are impacting the cost pressure for the organization. I think a lot of organization, if I mean, name a few, if I, before even naming a few, if I even look at BT for that matter, uh, we actually just literally 3x after COVID, right?
Hmm.
Prior to COVID, we were like probably 1,500 people, and after COVID till now, we have actually grown to circa 4,000. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
LTI Mindtree, Cape Gemini, Vistion as a GCC. You talk about TCS as a growth. Infosys is actually just landed, and all the SAP capabilities which Infosys is actually building out of Kolkata. So
Yeah.
I think the perception is changing a little bit of it, but there is a lot more to do in terms of really changing the perception. And I look at probably, there are two players who really need to kind of actually play here. One is, uh, look at the government role. I truly believe the government actually has a larger role to play in terms
Yeah.
of really showcasing and bringing the global investment to this part of the world. And the second is probably what the Chamber of Commerce or the BITC sort of actually event what they're trying to kind of actually do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think these are all great, signals for the geography, for the region. Uh, Talking about this exponential growth at BT in Kolkata,
Mhm.
you built one of the largest GCC success stories here.
Yeah.
What made this work in a place like Kolkata?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 7 year of a real struggle, I would say. 2018, that's where I've actually landed, and probably prior to that, all the roles which I've actually performed, those were more operational, commercial, contractual sort of role. This was the first time probably I had a role to manage a site, and the site of literally 400 people in 2018 when I kind of actually landed here. Uh, the one thing probably in an initial 3 to 6 months we realize uh, that the amount of hunger people actually have to grow. That's number one, and the number two, the amount of talent which is actually available in this part of the world, but getting drained and really moving to different geographies. In reality, what we did, we used the soft power and the hard power, right? So to look at Kolkata, and when I look at soft power, we truly kind of looked at the culture. And when I talk about culture, the alignment to the organization was a lot more better. If you look at BT, we are a UK based organization. We truly drive inclusion, equity, diversity, and it
Hmm.
matches what Kolkata actually offer. If I have to look at Kolkata, when it comes to inclusion, equity, it's a very progressive society, right? When I talk about diversity, I mean gender diversity is the first thing which actually comes here because we are sitting on the land of goddess. First Pride Parade actually took this part of the country, right? So the alignment of the culture and the values which actually worked first, that's a cultural part, which is a softer part. The second part, which we actually worked it out, is purely looking at the maturity model of any of a GCC. So you look at it at an industry level, there are four pillar of a GCC maturity model. It start from a cost arbitrage, and it actually moved to the governance, then strategic partner, and then the innovation partner. We literally, if I have to be absolutely honest, we literally kind of created a project which we call it Kahani Kolkata ki, and it wasn't literally me. It was a effort of a lot of people who was a part of the senior management team based on the site, and as well as the one intern from IIT Kharagpur and our head of talent Ritesh Agrawal. We created this project to really combine uh, cost, retention, engagement, our overall annual UOC result, and then really map it to the softer power, right? The first project we actually did on finance to start with, and it came out to be a real music to ears to a lot of people in the leadership. I mean, the difference on capability versus the cost, while the capability was absolutely top notch from a talent availability standpoint, but just the difference in terms of the benefit which we actually have, I mean, it was as high as 50-55% from the rest of the geographies. And then we at the base it was a difference of circa 30%. That business case itself has become a full sales pitch for Kolkata, and it has a lot of journey. I mean, it has a lot of roadblocks, lot of discussion, but probably I think after probably a 100 sort of sales deck for Kolkata has kind of actually started the paving the way for
Yeah.
a GCC to become a more like a BCP to a front running side. And today, I mean, we talk about a length and breadth from a tech, finance, HR, customer service, right? In a nutshell, as an organization, while we started with the more like a finance as a capability, but overall, right, if you look at a tech capability at an enterprise application, engineering, AI, ML, to finance, HRO, procurement, and amalgamation of a commercial, contractual, and customer service that bring together to the 4,000 people what we actually have. And
Yeah.
really, this is a mini engine. That's what we call it for a BT group at an overall level.
Yeah. And that's just more validation for more companies coming and setting up operations in Kolkata, in the eastern region. I know you've been talking very highly of this whole team, the 4,000 plus workforce. Being the director of this GCC GBS, what does it actually take to drive such a big team uh, for success, for hitting the metrics, hitting the targets, making success stories known across the organization globally?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I look at this, you know, uh, any large team taking this to a success, it has a number of things to kind of actually work upon. First of all, uh, to build the team to a 4,000 people from 400, uh, an individual at our level need to be very clear that why do we want to do it, right? The number two, what is the sort of benefit which you're going to reap as an organization? End of the day, it has to be a real value for the organization. Number three, in the word of transformation, it needs to articulate that it's not about actually just building up big teams, right? That's where we are actually moving into. We are moving into having a smaller team, but lot more complex sort of work. So is the geography sort of kind of actually helps you in terms of actually doing that sort of complex but also building the capability there or not, right? And the number four, probably, right, there is a one mission and the vision statement everybody needs to be aligned to. I look at this as like a four pillar strategy to really kind of delivering for the organization and creating a big and broader team of as big as a GCC of 4,000 people, which across India probably, I think it's only probably the 5% of the GCC you will actually find which is actually sitting at somewhere on the number of a 4,000 and 5,000 people.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's why more events like BITC 26 matter, because it sends the signal that the next wave of enterprise transformation is not going to be limited to the Hyderabad and the Bangalores of the world, but
Yeah.
come from non-traditional hubs, which organizations like BT and others that you mentioned have proved
Yeah.
to us. Um, Taking
Let,
that
let
point
me
forward.
let me probably
Yeah.
add a point there. See, when we talk about Hyderabad and Bangalore, especially from a tech hub, right, and Kolkata, I mean, look at Kolkata for that matter. Kolkata creates circa 120K engineers every year, right?
Yeah.
Where exactly these engineers are moving into? End of the day, these engineers are actually moving because of the brain drain out of Kolkata for a longer period of time, right?
Yeah.
Uh, in reality, when you look at the future of transformation and what BITC is talking about, when you look at Gen, Agentic, or any
Mhm.
sort of connected enterprise transformation, see, see the tech can only drive certain level of transformation, with the solutioning and the IT. But what you need is a core, and I
Yeah.
believe Kolkata offers you a core as well. So while from a capability standpoint, until you have a good amalgamation of tech and core capability, right? I don't think that you can actually drive the transformation. So
Yeah.
probably that's where I see Kolkata as a unique position, right? You actually have a core which is a finance, data analytics, right, and the tech kind of just layering over and above, which actually
Yeah.
just keeps Kolkata at a unique position. But like I said, there's a lot more to do, especially from a two front, to really take Kolkata to the next level as a geography.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, and very well said, Amit. So I think I just want to deep dive on that, because it's not just a good to have, or it's a nostalgia or a Kolkata calling, but it makes business sense for organizations to come to Kolkata. And you mentioned some factors which are obviously there. There is the cost aspect of it, the scalability aspect of it, the talent aspect of it, the cultural aspect
Yeah.
of it. Um, from your experience, do you think this kind of a distributed GCC technology model will become more strategically important for a region like Kolkata? And if so, uh, where do you see Kolkata in the next decade from your lens?
Yeah, so I think let's look at the GCC as a landscape, right? I mean, India actually has a circa 1,600 GCCs as of now,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what the NASSCOM data talks about. There are still like a 900 plus GCCs probably still to kind of come to India, and I'm talking about India, right?
Yeah.
Now, what would the GCC kind of actually look at? And there are, uh, I mean, we are seeing more and more tech GCCs which are actually coming to build it up. Initial days of GCCs were more like a HRO, procurement, traditional supply chain sort of an organization, and then full built up to the finance shared services. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if I have to look at both, in parallel, right? You look at finance, HRO, procurement. Sort of a GCC, which is very heavy to a non-tech sort of word. This is literally a place. I just don't understand sometime, and probably it's me, that why would a GCC would want to kind of actually move to an Hyderabad as a destination when actually when it comes to data analytics, commercial, contractual, HRO, this is literally a land for you, right? When look
Mm-hmm.
at the large players in a form of Cape, Genpact, TCS, PwC, HSBCs, right? I mean, PwC is a headquarter from a banking and finance standpoint. So for that player, I think this is really, really a place. Now, then look at the tech organization, right? Can you actually just have your tech sitting in a isolation in Bangalore and Hyderabad just because of your talent pool availability? I think that's a myth, probably,
Mm-hmm.
which people have been hanging on for a long time. And I tell you the sheer reason for it and how Kolkata needs to play. Most of your GCC, I would say 90% of your GCCs which are coming to India, that are designed and delivered by two organizations. For them, the infrastructure probably and the talent capability, how they have actually mapped, it's more like a Bangalore and Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for those organization needs to actually have a bit of taste of what Kolkata kind of actually offers and the sort of talent pool. So if I look at working with the Corn Ferry and probably the other manpower organizations, and put Kolkata, especially the West Bengal and the eastern region, from a GCC tech standpoint, and giving the full layering of what the talent capability of the tech is available with Infosys, TCS, LTI, Mindtrees, right? All
Yeah.
of these. I think there is a case. I'm not saying all the 900, but
Mm-hmm.
at least in my view, 30 to 40% of the GCCs, instead of giving to Bangalore, which is
Yeah.
anyway population bust, right? You actually have more traffic jams, right?
Yeah.
Hyderabad, high tech city, in the next 10-year time, Hyderabad will get actually choked. So, where is the biggest city which actually offers you talent, capability, cost, tech advantage, right? It's
Yeah.
a Kolkata, right?
Yeah.
From an
Yeah.
infrastructure standpoint, from a connectivity standpoint, we are sitting out there, provided that we have a right support from people like Chamber of Commerce, right? The
Mm-hmm.
BITC is actually trying to do exactly the same from the
Yeah.
government. I think
Yeah.
this is a destination which can actually bag at least 40 to 50% of the 900 GCCs, which is planned to be in India at some point of time.
Yeah, yeah, and completely echo that, because I mean, for the longest time, while running Kolkata Calling, we've been hearing that, where are the GCCs? GCCs are going everywhere, but there are examples like BT. There are examples that you pointed out, which are sort of changing that narrative, changing that trend, because as you rightly said, it makes the most viable business sense to set up your GCCs in Kolkata. Taking that point
100%.
forward, Amit, and you said the environment is important. I'll focus a little more on the kind of work that's happening in organizations such as yours and the others that you mentioned. It's no longer just finance, HR, supply chain, operations processing, but the innovation part of things, which is giving kind of a strategic advantage to organizations, which you talk
Yeah.
about connected intelligence, Gen AI, autonomous enterprises, all of those things are happening right here from Kolkata, which many people,
Yeah.
even in Kolkata or maybe outside Kolkata, are not aware of. So, can you tell us from your experience what's actually happening on the tech side of AI automation in Kolkata in organizations like BT?
See, when you look at AI, and from my perspective, a lot of enterprise organization who really want to kind of actually invest in AI, but is still at a very early stage of AI. But if you talk about the capabilities in terms of creating large language models, small language models, right? Really actually having the full capability of the prompt engineering, context engineering
Mm-hmm.
as well. And if you put a full layering in terms of either the cloud, SAP, right, Ariba, and sort of, a full orchestration of your language models, I think that sort of capabilities which has been actually built up by a lot of organization. I mean, you look at Accenture, we haven't taken the name, right? They have a big,
Mm-hmm.
big operation which is actually sitting out here, and they do core IT, but probably do not talk about it, right? I talked about Infosys, right? SAP and cloud, really, really heavily focus. TCS, very heavy focus. LTI, very heavily focus on cloud engineering, right? AI, ML capabilities. If I look at just from the BT context standpoint, right? Uh, there is a lot more tech to start with. So if I talk about enterprise application management, right, which
Mm-hmm.
kind of actually happens out of here, a lot of work, especially in the quality testing, building the solutions, or the workflows which we have actually offered to even to our startup partners, which are based out of Kolkata. So I think from
Mm-hmm.
a wider lens standpoint, there is a lot of talent pool and the capability which is actually sitting purely from the innovation part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to touch about the innovation as well. uh, One is your capabilities, which is actually your layering, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
second part is, your does your employee also have a curiosity, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, not to learn, but the second is more to innovate. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
would want to learn, but everybody would not want to innovate. This is the one thing probably I have actually seen within India across the three location. This part of the world, regardless of people who comes with the engineering background or a non-engineering background, uh, they have a zeal to kind of actually do over and above all the period of time. If they are
Mm-hmm.
following a prompt, they're following a process, they're following a code, they would continue to want to actually see that can I actually make it better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example of it. Right, couple of years back, we did a project, and this was a in BT. We used to do like ideathon. Right, we
Okay.
used to call it Challenge Cup. For a 3 to 4 years in a row, every year, either at India top ideation and innovation, or at a UK broad in the out of the 179 countries which we actually operate at, Kolkata was always topping a chart.
Wow.
It will always have an idea, okay, which is out
Mm-hmm.
of the box, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just to kind of probably come back to the and summarize the question which you actually have, I think uh, from the future tech uh, to the innovation, I think this part of the world kind of actually offers you a very balanced, or probably at times actually surprise you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes us very proud to hear that. One question about AI and talent, like there is obviously so much noise and I would say different versions of what AI is going to do for talent, replace jobs,
Yeah.
change jobs, upskill, reskill, be relevant. Um, how how should young professionals, in your opinion, prepare for this future? Right? I mean, you talked about extremely capable team members at BT. How
Yeah.
should young professionals coming into the fold, into the workforce, be future ready and not just be overwhelmed by the pessimism around AI?
Yeah. No, so that's a brilliant one actually, and I personally probably actually asked that question to myself as well, given I have a young daughter. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so first of all, I think the AI, I believe that it will reshape a lot of jobs
Mm-hmm.
and the operating model, how the companies are actually designed, even from an org structure standpoint. I believe that you will actually find more managers managing the AI bot instead of actually the people. uh,
Mm-hmm.
will it actually replace a lot of jobs? I would, my personal view is that repeatable standards, jobs will actually get a lot more taken by AI, because the
Mm-hmm.
machine will itself be a lot more smart and intelligent to perform those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to especially the young professional, and I probably kind of actually put this in a two segmentation, right? One is people who are starting their career, especially either a tech or a non-tech, and there are people who are probably still preparing for their graduation, or they are in a 12th standard and looking to kind of their future in different stream. uh, if I start with the folks and the students who are probably in a 10th and a 12th standard and they are looking for their career, my advice will be don't be part of the rat race. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably being a little more blunt here. I think India has actually produced, billions of engineers, and
Mm-hmm.
and and while IITs and NIITs and probably the tier 2 colleges have been absolutely best, over the period of time we have seen a rat race of probably every nook and corner. There is an engineering college, right, which actually offers a computer science, and every parent would want to actually have their kid to be in one of the engineering college. I think all of this AI will actually eat it up. And I'm probably being very honest and very upfront there. To advise to all of these students, uh, whatever little bit, and I'm not a mastery of AI, be part of your core, be part of the core in the domain, right? So instead of actually looking at the computer science, I would rather actually say look it for a mechanical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look it for oil, look it for smart farming, right? Look it for agriculture. And the AI is an enabler. Believe me, people actually think that computer science is the way to go. In reality, it's no. You keep your core with you, and the AI will actually just layer it on top of it. Okay, so that's one part of it.
Yeah.
That's one part of advice, especially for the people, young professional, right, who are in the early stages of career. I think there is nothing to kind of worry about in terms of how many jobs AI will actually eat. It's all about that. Are you actually learning with AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a hardcore techie, right? But I have actually spent a lot of time either picking up the courses. I'm currently pursuing a course from Cornell University as well. Really kind of understanding that how AI can actually help in transforming my business model.
Yeah.
Okay. AI literacy, I think that's where probably the young professional needs to focus more instead of really learning. If you're a techie, then definitely you have to learn the tech. You need to learn that how will you create a large language model or a small language model, right? Or how will you actually have a full bot to the substitute agent bots, right? And how would all the bots kind of work with each other? But if you're a
Mm-hmm.
non-tech and you're probably a finance, procure, HRO, customer service sort of word, you need to kind of understand that what AI is doing for you. Play with
Yeah.
the AI, and I know a lot of people in the industries actually say don't play with AI. I think that's how I learned. I have a Claude and OpenAI, both the subscription. I play with them. I've created my own agent bots, right? I ask them in terms of what needed to be done,
Yeah.
and go through a full prompt engineering. You will learn over the period of time. You know what? Honestly, what I believe, India as a country
Mm-hmm.
have always evolved when it comes to any technology evolution,
Yeah.
right? And if I look at the word has also evolved every point of time, from a computer
Yeah.
to bots, RPAs, and to the agentic AI. So I think playing and learning and going along, right, and being a little bit more curious about it, that will actually help you sail through probably in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years in your career.
Wonderful. Bringing it back to sort of the Kolkata and the BITC 26, Amit. Uh, do you think this is Eastern India's moment to change the narrative, bring GCC growth, attract global investments? What should we do? You mentioned government and ecosystem and
Yeah.
the Chamber of Commerce. What can we do?
So I think what we need is a very clear, focused approach. And before I
Mhm.
get into the approach, I think we are at an inflection point to really take West Bengal and Kolkata as a region to the next level. And somebody like me who's been an ambassador for this part of the world, uh, given the whole talent pool which is actually in the surrounding. So that's number one. I mean, look at Bangalore, you actually have a Bangalore, you have a Chennai, you have a Hyderabad within the 500-kilometer. You have a Mumbai, you have a Pune, right, which is like within the 100-kilometer. You have a Delhi NCR, which is Noida and Gurugram. Look at Kolkata, surrounded by seven hilly state. You have a two state, a three state which is nearby in Odisha, Jharkhand, and as well as Bihar. Right. In reality, the sheer talent pool which these the whole all these 10 states are kind of actually producing you to, right? So
Yeah.
that's number one, right? Uh, Number two, when it comes to the inflection point, especially from a Kolkata standpoint, I think uh, the two things which hasn't happened, right? The slowness, a bit of it in terms of policy and decision making. I think we have to ensure that we immediately work on some of these GCC policies, which has been launched by Karnataka government and the Uttar Pradesh government, the Hyderabad government. I think the GCC paper probably is a lot more ready. The government needs to kind of buy into it. So that's number one. The number two, I think that the chambers, and especially I truly appreciate what the Bengal Chamber of Commerce is trying to do from last full decade, I would say. But I think they are at a lot more advanced stages to work with the government and really
Mhm.
focus on the global investment, which is not look at the organization which are actually sitting outside of the country, but also look at the organizations which are early stage of GCC looking for expansion. Uh,
Mhm.
yes, we are focused on the top four, five big players within the Indian ITS organization, but they are at a peak at this point of time, right?
Yeah.
Will they? I mean, will the Infosys and TCS and HCL's sort of word and the Wipros will actually grow exponentially? Probably no, because they are
Yeah.
already a giant organization. Can they
Yeah.
shift a bit here and there? Okay, looking at Kolkata as a capability, yes, 100%. And I think most of your presence is here. But probably the focus needs to be, the new startups, new unicorn, the global capability centers. But what it actually needs is a very focused approach. One, the through the chambers with the employers and the industry bodies like us, who really kind
Mhm.
of actually have a very focused view of wherever the government needs support. But the
Yeah.
second is the and I'm not making any political statement, but I think probably with the change in the government, right, and with the commitment of double engine, we really want to see the double engine working for this part of the world,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To really make ease of business, get more employment, right, and really ensuring the capabilities and the talent pool which has been created in this part of the world is being fully utilized. And probably I think, like I said, I'm just coming back to the chamber. The chamber also need to play a lot more aggressive role with the government to
Yeah.
really ensure that, okay, with I mean the program which we're doing on 19th of June,
Yeah.
in reality these programs actually helps you, right, bringing leadership from different organization who probably does not have a taste of Bengal, right? They
Mhm.
don't understand Bengal still.
Yeah.
Probably bring them on those forum, talk about the capability, talent, cost, right, and the innovation and the infrastructure in the surrounding to really attract these global investment. Sorry if it
Yeah.
has been a long one.
No, no, no. I think you speak very passionately about it, and I think that is the kind of passion that can only bring that change. And you're right. I think we've had enough promises. Now it's about execution and delivering on those promises. Right. That's what we need. And honestly, personally, I believe that Bengal Chamber of Commerce can build this platform through BITC, where industry,
Yeah,
government, academia plays a very important role. All can come together
100%.
and sort of empower this ecosystem to make Kolkata and Bengal shine again. And when I was going through the list of themes in this Beyond Boundaries, there's infrastructure, there's talent pipeline, policy collaboration, hybrid work, emerging tech, future digital workplaces.
Yeah.
So many amazing things that potentially can change the landscape of how people from outside view Kolkata. So I think all the best for BITC 26, not just to you and the team, but also the BCC&I team. Before we wrap up today, Amit, I just want to get a little, I would say, human side of your leadership. And this is a small rapid fire that we've designed. So without taking too much time, one technology you think is overhyped?
AI, 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 AI. I
Okay.
think, the whole day everybody's talking about AI, 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 and probably a lot of people don't even understand what AI will directly do.
Sure, sure. One technology that you believe will genuinely transform enterprises?
It will be AI, provided that it is actually used when the
Mm,
leadership and the organizations are very clear that why do they need AI and
mm,
where exactly they need the help of AI.
yeah,
Uh, then it's absolutely change the game.
yeah,
But if you only talk about AI from morning to evening, it won't change the world for you.
yeah, yeah. One leadership lesson that has stayed with you after all these years?
So I think there have been a lot of hard lessons, but I would say I realized that no project and no transformation can be actually delivered by the strategy, the technology, or you have all the great project planning until your team has actually bought into it.
Hmm.
And we have seen early days of people pushing some of the technologies, people pushing for a project, and realize that the team hasn't bought into it and the projects have
Mm,
failed. So,
yeah.
so the real lesson for me, regardless of what I actually do or what I'm trying to, or even forecasting to do certain things, when it
Hmm.
comes to real transformation, me and my team has to be fully bought into the idea, which actually means the real success.
Yeah. And last rapid fire, one word to describe Kolkata.
I mean, I don't have a one word to describe Kolkata, but I will still go resilient. Probably will be the one word for Kolkata.
Yeah,
Uh, because Kolkata has been really kind of very adaptable, very patient
yeah,
from last 30, 40, 50 years. Okay,
yeah,
is actually seeing the rest of the India probably kind of actually growing, uh, and still kind of waiting and watching for its place.
yeah,
uh, I feel I feel it's time.
yeah,
That's number one. But the number two, it's very adoptable as well,
yeah.
and I believe that the whole adoptability actually just comes to the resilient, and Kolkata being a very resilient city. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely the time is now, and I think there's no better time than this. Uh, Amit, before I let you go, I have to ask you, what are you most excited about BITC 26?
Yeah. So I think in last probably couple of years, I have actually attended multiple sessions, more from the BITC and as well as from the other industry bodies as well. People are talking about the future of tech, and most of the sessions are focused on AI, and so does the BITC as well. I think some of the topics which we're going to discuss and which I have clearly seen the themes, Gen AI, cloud,
Yeah,
connected enterprises, is going to be the real focus, and as well as the agentic AI. I'm quite interested to understand that how and where the real Gen or agentic AI has delivered benefit to the organization. Because if you just pick up the MIT sort of actually study, it talks about 100 billion has been spent, but no real revenue growth in the wider industry is actually seen as of now. So I'm very very curious and looking forward to see that through the BITC event on 19th of June, we'll
mhm.
be able to kind of actually hear from leaders who have deployed AI and where exactly they have deployed and how they're reaping the benefit more either on the bottom line or from the top line as well.
Wonderful. And last, Amit, if you had to tell a colleague in your organization or in a different organization in the industry, in the field of tech, uh, why should they attend BITC 26?
Yeah, so I think see the BITC actually offers a good amalgamation of you know uh, both the business leaders and as well as the tech leaders, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
And this is for either from my organization to a different organization. Uh, all of us has been probably in a well, right?
Hmm.
regardless of whichever organization you are in. You're listening from your leaders, you're listening from your team, you're actually probably reading a bit on social media, but everybody is pretty much exactly in one surrounding.
Hmm.
Any sort of events, right, actually offers you a lot more broader exposure to what's happening in the industry. I think what
Yeah.
BITCs actually do, and this is for all the colleagues who either hearing or even get to know about the event, it actually just broaden your perspective that how everything has been not looked at only from a tech lens, but from the business lens as well.
Yep.
And the real amalgamation of a business and tech actually talks about the compounding growth for the
Hmm.
organization. So in reality, it's for your growth, right? And your exposure. Feel free to join. I think it's always have been a great event of lot of tech and lot of leader kind of actually coming under one umbrella, and has a great eventful day. So that will be probably my advice to all the folks.
Wonderful. Amit, it's been amazing listening to you. Not just speak about BT so passionately, but also speak about Kolkata and Bengal so passionately. You definitely believe in this success story of Kolkata and Bengal rising again. Wish you all the best for BITC 26. Hope to see you there. And may you continue to lead BT Group into the new era of evolving tech and generative AI with your 4,000 plus team. May it continue to grow bigger and better. With that, we'll come to the close of our podcast with Mr. Amit Srivastava, the director of GCC GBS at BT. For all the viewers and listeners, as I mentioned, we are in this partnership with BCC&I, Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for their 17th Business IT Conclave, the ITC 26, happening on the 19th of June 2026 in Kolkata. The theme being Beyond Boundaries, empowering enterprises through emerging and connected technologies. Amit will be there. Hopefully, I'll be there as well. And there'll be so many industry and tech professionals there, giving you that exposure, giving you the ideas for innovation and how Kolkata and Bengal can drive the next stage of growth for tech and business. So, see you all there. And with that, we close our podcast today. Amit, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you, Shobit, for inviting, and thank you to all the viewers.
Thank you.